Bonjour and welcome to this new Alexis review. I hope you're all fine. Today we will be talking about a very hyped up product, which is Leviosa, both by Julio Montoro and João Miranda. So one is from Spain, the other is from Portugal, and they teamed up. It's not their first co-creation. Pov was one of them, I think, and they teamed up to create this. I think that João says that it was during, oh, I forgot to turn this one. It was during the Pov explanation video shooting that Julio showed him his idea, and João created Leviosa based on this idea, and they worked together to create this one. So Leviosa is basically an haunting deck on steroid. Haunting deck is very simple. You have a card selected, you place the card on the ground, the deck cuts itself and ejects the selected card, but here you have a very nice animation, and also at the end when you stand up and you snap your finger, the deck will just rise up, levitate to your hand. It's very magical, and I think, and I'm sure that you've already seen the many demos of it, but it looks like that in real life. Leviosa is sold at $200. You can find it in the link on the link in the description. If you want to help my reviews, you can just buy from the shops that provide me with the product, so it helps for future reviews. Thank you so much. Before opening the box, feel free to subscribe to this review channel, even if the French accent is a bit strong. I will do my best for you to understand as usual, but you can feel free to subscribe. We are more than 1,000, which is a huge thank you so much. So basically you received that. I hope the packaging was a bit more stiffer maybe, because I think it bends a little bit, and it's not as, for a $200 product, I would have liked a more sturdy packaging. Okay, you don't buy the packaging, but still it's better, I think, when you receive something to feel that even the packaging is high quality. But inside you will receive several things. The good thing is that the gimmick comes in this plastic case, which is very important because it protects everything. Speaking about the gimmick looks like this. So mine is in Blue Bicycle. We will go over the fact that you could change the back of the cards, but it would require a bit of arts and craft. The gimmick is very good. It looks like what it's supposed to be, which is a deck of cards, but it's not a deck of cards at all. And I will talk also about the similarities between this and the Gravity Reel by João Miranda. So it's very well made. Please do not use, if you already bought it and haven't played with it, do not use the gimmick before watching the explanation, because you will ruin everything if you don't watch the proper explanation. There are plenty of things you have to know, and you could break the thread, which is not a major problem, but still you will need 20 to 30 minutes at the first time to change the thread. When you get used to it, it will be a matter of 5 to 10 minutes, but still it's a pain. So you get also the charger, which is the same as all the other charger from João Miranda, and you get a little bit of stuff here. So you get a screwdriver to configure, to set up the speed and the tension of the motor if you want to change, but you don't have to, because I think the factory settings are great. You get some thread if you want to thread again your gimmick, a needle, something to get the thread on the needle, which is very helpful, and stickers to stick the thread on the spools, and you get two spools which are basically the same as the Gravity Reel. Most of the stuff looks like the Gravity Reel, and I think it's fair to say Leviosa is like a Gravity Reel light. It has not all the features, and it is built into a deck of cards, but it looks like, well, even if It's the same architecture as the gravity reel. So this is what you receive. The quality of the gimmick is very good. The fact that you can turn it on and off is very helpful during the routine, and I was scared about the fact it wasn't going to be practical, and actually it's very practical. I think João, his team, and Julio did a great job creating something that can be used on the fly, which was my major concern, because I didn't want to have multiple hookups on me. Here you can just turn it on in front of the audience and perform it right away. It's very cool. It's an expensive product. Will you be using it? I'm not you, so I can't tell, but you have to bear in mind that it's super practical. You can use it in professional condition, in hobbyist condition. It's something that can be used in a lot of setup, which is a great thing, and it works like you've seen it in the trailer, but I will show you a quick demonstration on the ground right now. Let's go for a small demonstration. As you can see, I have magician slippers. I don't know if you call them slippers, but they are very comfy, okay? But that's something else. Let's imagine you have selected the 5 of diamonds. I won't go into the selection because you have many ways of doing so, the switching deck or the palming of the card. Well, you can perform really the way you want. So actually you just have to do that. To cut the deck, I hope I will be up in frame. I just cut here, and if we focus, maybe with the shadow of the hand, I just, wow, and I have a card right there which goes away, and of course is the selected card. So that's the first effect, but if you wave the card over the deck, hop, and you get, of course, the deck in your hands, and everything can be set away and you're completely good. Maybe one thing I didn't mention in the cons section or the pros, the noise is not that bad. Maybe you hear something here because it's completely silent and the mic is very close from the deck, but you don't have any noise issue with this. But let's go into the pros and cons section. Let's start with the cons. It's a thread product, which means it will require some thread work. Even if the gimmick does most of the work for you, you have to be a little bit cautious with the thread. I found it very easy to use, but I've worked with thread before, so maybe my experience and my background helped me with it. But I think somebody who is new with thread will maybe break a little bit more than what I have done. I actually never broke the thread, but I will talk about that in the pro section. And bear in mind that it's easy, but you have to get used to the thread. As I said, if you want to change the back of the card, it will require a bit of art and craft, so I really recommend you stick with the bicycle, red or blue. You get both options when you want to buy it from a shop. Of course, you have to use this deck only for this effect. You have no regular card. Well, you have one regular card, so you can't perform any other effect with it. So you have to dedicate a whole deck of cards for this effect, which is okay because the effect is quite amazing. But if you have some pocket management concern or spaces in your close-up case, you have to keep in mind that this will, it's the size of a deck of cards. You don't have to carry anything else. Well, you could carry the charger, but it's quite small. But still, it's a deck for this effect especially. And let's go now into the pro section. It's really super visual. As you've seen, it's very, very magical. I was not sure if the cut by itself section or the deck rising to your hand, which one of them was the most powerful for the audience. I think the deck rising to your hand is very strong, but I said that because I already seen other anti-deck effects. So the cutting part is nice, it's amazing, but it looks like other things. The deck is just completely groundbreaking in terms of magical effect. So I think I will go for that, but both effects can be performed independently. If you want to, you can set up things. The great thing about the gimmick is that if you find it's a little bit weak, you can put more tension into the motor and the motor will be a little bit stronger, and then you have a little bit more punch into your routine. It's very practical because this is all you need, and if I want to be set up, I just do that and I'm set up to perform the effect. And it's very, very interesting that they included such turn on and off button. It's really well disguised and really practical when you want to be performing it. Of course, you will need to switch from a regular deck to this one, or you don't have to, because many options are taught in the explanation video. You could have several cards on the deck, have them choose, perform a little bit of manipulation if you want to. But I think any magician that have been playing enough with the cards have a way of doing so in his repertoire. So it's very, you could have it in a card case and be ready at all time to perform it, which is quite amazing. I was a little bit scared about the fact that the thread could be a direct explanation for the audience. And I think that if you perform it correctly, and if you just play with it and just tell a story, the people won't be looking for the method. Of course, you will always have somebody in the audience saying, but the whole audience, the audience experience won't be, how did he do that? But they will say, wow, that's amazing, okay? So I think that you have to construct the routine in a way so that people are not looking for an explanation, but just enjoying their time. And the fact, the way the routine is built, the thread is actually never where they think it is. Because in the first routine, in the first phase of the effect, your hands are far away from the deck, so the thread is lost among this, so people cannot focus. And for the second phase, the deck in the hand, people think the effect is over, so they are not looking and seeing something. They just, wow, this is my card, amazing, and then you say, no, please, one more time, and you snap your finger. So both moments have their offbeat, and the thread work is made very easy because of that. I said that it was very easy to perform, and I agree with what I said a few minutes ago, but again, it's easy because I have a little bit of experience, but it's still very easy to perform because I've seen video of João and Julio having people on Magic Convention performing it for the first time, and people... The gimmick does all the work by itself, so you just have to be a little bit careful. Maybe you will break once or twice because when you're first used to something, you have to experiment with the tension and things, but once you've been doing it over and over, it's very, very easy to perform. I performed it, as I said, more than 100 times because it's something quite enjoyable. You enjoy a lot when you perform because it's like Harry Potter in real life, so you want to perform it again and again and without any breakage. So the thread never broke, and I think that with proper use it won't break. You have to follow the guideline from João. He explains all the troubleshooting, and also he explains what you want, what you have to do and what you don't want to do with the gimmick. And if you follow these rules, no problem with the thread. Actually, the thread from João is very good because it's strong enough and invisible enough to be performed, to perform Leviosa. And if ever you break, everything is taught in the explanation and you get everything you want to, everything, even included a needle, so you get everything here to perform the repair of the thread. So it's a nice attention, and I think you should break once before going into live performances, because if you break during live performances, you won't be able to repair the thread if you never repaired it before. So I think you should train to repair the thread, and then be ready at whatever happens when you go into performance mode. There is a mode where you can custom your routine, so you can custom your delay, your effect. I think that it's not necessary because the factory settings are great. But if you want to go into the most customization, you can. It's a little bit, you have to sit to understand how it works. You can do it, but I don't recommend it. I really love this product. I was very afraid that it would scream thread. I was very afraid that it would be unpractical. And no, it's practical. I don't think it screams thread if you perform it correctly. And João is a friend, but I'm not fond of all his creations. I have some of his creations, I don't like them, and I think that there are problems with them, but this one, I can't find anything bad about it. It works. Be careful on which surface you perform, because if you perform on concrete, it will not be good, but if you perform inside any house, it will be great. Be careful about carpet too, because it won't slide very good. But apart from that, it's a true, and for the effect, for the machinery inside, I think João goes above and beyond to create amazing magic trick, and this one is no exception. I maybe won't be performing it, or once or twice in a special condition, but for the groundbreaking effect, the method, which is very practical, I have to give it 4 hearts. As for the difficulty, if you've never been performing anti-deck with thread, the first few tries will require a bit of work, so 3 stars for that. But if you already perform thread effect, it's very easy to get in your hands, so 2 stars. As for the similar products, you have of course Spooked by Nick Einhorn, which is one of the best anti-deck, I think, but it's performed with an ITR, or you can easily perform an anti-deck with loops too, which are great. So both options are good. You have many electronic options, and this one is actually, it's great, but it relies on electronics. I like to perform loops, very simple things that if they break, I just have another, but it's not the same effect. So it's up to you. You have to decide what you want to perform. This video is now finished. Thank you so much for watching it. I'm sorry for my accent. I hope you enjoyed the review. If you want me to review any other product, feel free to name it in the comment section. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and see you soon for another review. Merci beaucoup. Au revoir.